Alright guys, so here we go. This is the moment that I have been waiting for and dreading, but finally just gonna do it. So this is the helmet. It's all cleaned up. I just got finished rubbing it down with some isopropyl alcohol. At this point, it's really just down to getting started, which is mildly terrifying. But the shoulders, let me grab one of them. Gonna die. Okay. The shoulders turned out so well that, I don't know. I've used the word cautious optimism a dozen times already, but that's all I've got. The thing about this is, this helmet is now, I don't know, probably 6, 7, possibly 8 years old, and I don't know how well this is going to pick up on the camera, but there's some definite pitting. It's lived a life, as it were. So after I do this, I just have to keep up on cleaning it, because I don't know if I'll be able to strip it down and do this again. So note to future Will, take care of this helmet. We're gonna finish it with the frog lube again, because this stuff is amazing. Yay, frog lube. But yeah, we just need to make sure we stay on top of cleaning it after every use and making sure it's sealed and good. So here's the thing, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with that first coat, and then I'll bring you back in to show you the first coat, and then I'll bring you back in, for subsequent coats as we go along, kind of like I did with the shoulders. So as seems to be my catchphrase, back in a flash. Okay, so one of the biggest challenges with doing the helmet is just the fact that there's so much surface area to cover. You don't think about how friggin' big the helmet actually is until you've got to try to cover it evenly, and cover it relatively quickly with this stuff. Because the whole thing is you cover it in an even coat, and then you're supposed to let it sit for just a minute. 1 minute, and then you go and you rinse it off and repeat the process. So, yeah, it's kind of scary. I'm hoping that multiple coats will eventually even it out, because you start at the top, so the top will have had the stuff on it longer than the entire rest of the piece. As you work, each section is coated for longer than the last, So hopefully, with the shoulders, I did 5 rounds of this stuff, and they turned out beautiful. Hopefully 5 rounds on the helmet will do the same. So this is just round 1 of the bluing agent. I'm going to cut here, go rinse it, pat it, wipe it dry, buff it, clean it with alcohol, and then start round 2 and bring it back in a little bit. So as always, back in a flash. Okay, so this is round 1 complete. Again, quick run through the steps here. You clean it, you rub it down with rubbing alcohol to get all the grease and whatnot off of it, and to further dry it from your cleaning. Then you coat it in a thin, even layer of the Birchwood Casey Perma Blue Paste Gun Blue. Danger, poison. So nice thin coat of that as evenly as humanly possible. Let it sit for a minute. Rinse with cold water. And then gently, very gently wipe dry. Followed by a light buffing with some steel wool, some fine steel wool. Followed by another clean with the rubbing alcohol. And then you start again. One thing I'm noticing is that my stainless might not be as stainless as it once was. It's actually, in some areas, becoming blackened as the goop gets on it. So that's a thing. But honestly, it's 18 gauge stainless. If I really wanted to, at some point, I could rip off the nose piece, rip off the cross, and make a new one and put it on there. But honestly, to me, just kind of, I guess right now, I feel like it just gives it character, so I'm okay with it. So we're going to do, like I said, this is coat number 1. And you can see how much darker it's become. So we're probably going to do 5 rounds of this stuff, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, again, back in a flash. This is round number 5, Cinco. I think. Well, I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. This is the 5th coat of this stuff that I've done, and, the shoulders were done after 5. The helmet, we're just going to have to see. As I said before, it's such a large surface area that it's proving to be, I think, probably more difficult, just due to how large the surface area is and how long it takes to coat it in this stuff evenly. I'm hoping this 5th coat is going to rinse off and be completely even, but we'll have to see. The idea is that the darker I make it, the more even it's going to be, because it won't physically be able to get any darker in the spots where it's already darkest, and then the spots where it's not dark enough, those will get darker, if that makes any sense. We'll see. We will see. I wanted to bring you in on this 5th run, just to kind of give you an update. But here we go for rinse and clean number 5. We'll take a look at it after I get it buffed and cleaned, and we'll see if we're going to go straight to the good old-fashioned frog lube, or if we're going to have to do another couple rounds. So, as always, back in a flash. Okay, so this is 5 coats. This is what I did on the shoulders. And the thing is, that last step, you cover it in the sealer, the frog lube, and then you let it sit overnight, and the shoulders did get darker as they cured overnight. So if I want the helmet to match the shoulders, the thing is, I have such a terrible memory, and the camera doesn't actually pick up the color as well as I would like it to. I can't remember if this was how dark the shoulders were after the 5th coat, and then I put on the stuff and let it sit, and it got as dark as it is now. See those guys? Or do I do another coat? I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about this. Back in a flash. Alright. Made the decision. 5 coats. You know, I don't... It'd be very cool if it matched the shoulders. So we're going to go with the theory that they got darker as they cured overnight. So that's what we're going to do. 5 coats. We're going to slather it up with this... God, it smells so good. With this stuff. And we're going to let it sit. And then I'll take pictures in the morning and see, you know, how we did. And hopefully we did splendidly. So, yeah. Here we go. Whole bunch of this stuff. Just going to rub it all in there. There's so much surface area on a helmet, you know? It's kind of insane. And there are so many like little nooks and crannies and whatnot. You gotta make sure to get this stuff in everywhere. Alright, so that's that bit done. Moving on. And with this stuff too, you know, you want to make sure that it's even. A nice, even coating over the whole everything. Okay, I've been silent for a bit here, sorry. I used to record the whole process here, but you know what? We are going to maintain that cautious optimism, and we are going to hope that overnight this stuff sets and cures and we get a nice, dark, midnight black helmet, right? Because I want to look badass, right? I want to be badass, but I also want to look badass. Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? You know, you can be the most badass fighter in the world, but you go out there looking like a bag of crap. Nobody's gonna care. You know, and it's kind of a workout too, because when you wear it, it doesn't feel very heavy, but, you know, holding it, that's when you notice that darn things are, you know, 4.5, 5 pounds. And that doesn't sound like much, but when you're holding it up with one hand and trying to clean it and rub this stuff in with the other. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sweating a little bit. Doesn't help that it's like 75 degrees in my shop here. But I think we've done it, folks. I think we've done it. Let's get this situated so that it doesn't fall over. I've literally got this guy sitting on a like an old-timey hat stand, rig stand, whatever. It was definitely not made to support a steel helmet, but it does the job. Alright. So that's it, folks. At this point, it's out of my hands. Like I said, I will get pictures in the morning to see. Smells lovely. To see how we did. So we'll wait and see. Until then, have a good one. Be excellent to each other. Stay awesome. Adios.